Okay, good afternoon. We are here again, episode I think 13, if the memory, or 12. Anyways, our friend Stormer is here for another episode of 30 for 30, and I was just thinking about it this morning on what to progress into our exercises, and I just noticed by looking at the older clips that I never spoke about how to lead a horse. So it might sound like really boring and not really something that a lot of people focus on, but to lead a horse properly, it takes some time. Many times it takes some time. So quite often when the horse is coming training, I don't even start with leading them, but I actually start with what we did before. And then as they learn about backing up and respecting my space, then I move into teaching them to be led. So as you remember that we talked about a bubble, a space between me and my horse, I like that space is also respected when I lead them. So again, I have a direction hand and a driving hand. And you go like, a driving hand? What's the driving hand for? Well, I'm gonna come over to explain about the driving hand real soon. So I'm just gonna start by establish a distance between myself and the horse. In this case, it's probably about a meter. So what is it, like 3 feet? 3 something? And I like that distance is respected. With my direction hand, I'm gonna point where I want my horse to go. I'm gonna start offering a feel of me walking, and if he follows me, that's great. But if he doesn't, I'm not gonna just drag my horse with me. Good, Stormer is following me. So I can start moving forward. Now, if you have a fence, that's really, that would turn really handy. I'm just gonna grab the flag. The flag will be my driving hand, of course. So I'm gonna start by leading my horse parallel to the fence. And I like my horse to stop as I stop. So I'm gonna start getting ready and thinking 3, 2, 1, stop. If that distance it's not respected anymore, raise your hand and send your horse back. Good. It was very light. So, direction hand, outside, and head up. 3, 2, 1, stop. Good. Stay with us, Stormer. Nothing's happening there. Of course, these can work with both right hand or left hand. So I offer a walk and he's coming with me. Sometimes it's not store-born case, but if they get stuck, like a lot of young horses do, or if they don't want to go in a place, don't try to hold this leader up and pull your horse towards you. It's gonna be a way heavier weight against yours. They're gonna win it. So what you can do in that case is, instead of sending him straight in front of him, if here there was some tension in this leader, if the slack was out, move a little bit sideways. And as you get the slack out of there, if you are operating a lateral pressure on your horse, that'll kind of take him off of balance, so he'll give in a lot quicker. Also, we don't try to do it by hand, but because that will kind of like the releasing time, if you just do it with your hand, it's not so immediate. I find it myself that I have more immediate release if instead of pulling it with my hands, I'm just gonna lean forward. So I'm gonna position my lead rope on my hip, and as I lean forward here, if here there was tension in that lead rope, and as I lean with my hips, my whole weight will definitely have more power than my arms, and in the case the horse will give in to come towards me, I won't keep leaning on it, because otherwise I'm gonna go face with on the ground. This is a very basic concept, but it makes so much sense the moment you have a horse that it's stuck. And I know that now he's not stuck, so they're kind of like bored up in the air, probably. I hope not, but they might be. So that's there we go. See, he just got a little stuck because we were talking, and I leaned with my hips on it. That took him forward. As he came forward, I released. Now, sometimes you might want to lead your horse a little bit faster than just this walk. You might going somewhere. So if you're teaching your horse to speed up his walk, or maybe break into a trot, as you're walking faster, you're probably going to need a driving hand. The principle of moving him out is exactly the same. So I move him out straight, forward, good. Now as I want to speed up, I offer more with my direction hand, and if that doesn't happen, I'm going to drive him a little bit more with my driving hand. So I offer, and I drive, and I go, there. I'm going to come the other side, so it's easier to see it. Remember, driving with the flag is not your goal. That was a little bit of a failure attempt. So, offer with my hand, good. Now I'm going to speed up and think faster. There! And here's my horse going a little bit faster than that. Good. Now we stop. Very nice. Beautiful. I could rock him back here. But because there was such a nice try, I know that the bubble was kind of like collapsed a little bit. But because he did such a good try on moving out and stopping, and I swear, I didn't train this horse on doing this before. But it was such a nice try that I don't want to ruin it, right? Now, one of my mentors, and probably I never mentioned about him, you can see his website. He does really good stuff. I spent a lot of years with him. His name is Paul Dietz. He lives in Arizona, but he does clinics in Europe. So I really suggest you to go and spectate and actually ride with him. Work your horses, email him, get in contact with him. He's really good. But he says, once is luck, twice is coincidence, and the third time I'm in the middle of something. So now I did it once and it was luck probably, or maybe not, who knows. I maybe go for a coincidence now. Good. So I offer with my hand, think about speeding up. He did it and I was late, my bad. There we go. Sped up. Brilliant. Now let's see if I'm in the middle of something or if it was just coincidence. Woo! There we go. 3, 2, 1. Right. Stop, stop. Didn't work out so well. We'll try another time. go. I think it was just coincidence. Good. Not too fast. Now he's too hooked onto the flag. Let's see what happens, what the horse says when I get the flag away. Because the flag's not the goal anyways, right? There. I stop. Let's see if I can rock him back. I'll back up with my feet. Energy up. Good. Let's see it the other way. Now the reason why we do it by the fence is because otherwise, if I was going to drive him like I did before and I didn't have a fence, I could take the risk that the horse goes to my left, in this case would be. And I rather not having to work on so much stuff all in once. So if the fence could turn handy. Okay, I'll offer. Good, he's a little bit behind me. Now I'll speed up. Oh. I'll help. There we go. Notice he's a lot better on this side. Than on the other one. And that's normal because horses get led a lot more with this hand, on their left side than on their right side. So all I will have to do is to practice with him a lot more on the other side. Right. Do you think it's a good spot for today? Yeah, I think so. He said so. So that's enough, and I'll see you tomorrow with something else.